learned something today. And no, it wasn't that I have way too much sugar in my tea, because I have just the right amount of sugar in my tea. Some would argue that I don't have enough sugar in my tea. Thank you very much. And by today, I mean several days ago, I don't make videos. And that thing was about tea. I like tea. Do you like tea? I like tea. I expected this video to be like a big old rant at the state of the world and how people drink their tea. I mean, it still will be, but hear me out. I'm pretty certain I can assume that anyone who has an American friend or multiple American friends knows the tea debate. Nobody drinks tea right. Some Americans drink iced tea exclusively. Not that I have a problem with iced tea, but it's part of the debate. Some don't like tea at all and think that only, and I quote, Californian herbal healing hipsters drink tea. Thanks for that, Jasper. But the one thing that everyone, in this country at least, can agree on with Americans is that they don't have kettles. And I don't mean those stove kettles, fancy teapots really, aren't they? I mean electric kettles. They don't have those. And for years, me and pretty much every English person I know thought, what the fuck? Why the fuck not? Who can live without an electric kettle? Who wants the squeal? Who likes the bubble and the click? It's a debate. It happens. I've had the debate. I had the debate. It's a sad, sad debate. Science is why Americans don't have kettles, and I deemed this so important that I'm making an entire video on it. That scientific reason is the electricity, believe it or not. As I have on my phone here, it's a source, and I quote, most homes in the US operate on 100 to 127 volts, whereas the UK and many other countries use between 220 and 240 volts. That's almost twice as much. The lower voltage in the US means that electric kettles wouldn't heat water as quickly as they do in the UK, which is why they're pretty much pointless in America. And if the voltage thing makes no sense to you, the article I'm reading then explains in example form. To raise the temperature of 1 litre of water from 15 degrees to a boiling at 100 degrees, this is Celsius because that's what we use. If you want to know what it is in Fahrenheit, work it out, you're American. That was really aggressive, I'm sorry. Requires a little bit over 355 kilojoules of energy. An average kettle in the UK runs at about 2,800 watts and in the US about 1,500. If we assume that both kettles are 100% efficient, then a UK kettle supplying 2,800 joules per second will take 127 seconds to boil, and a US kettle supplying 1,500 joules per second will take 237 seconds, more than a minute and a half longer. That's like a whole minute and a half longer to wait for the click. It's not fair. Give Americans better kettles, 2K17. And my only question now is, why didn't you tell us? This debate would have been over so quickly. Every single time a British person goes, what the fuck, why don't you have an electric kettle? Bruh. You've got your answer, it's right there. Say there's no point in them. All of this debate, all this war. And there was such a simple solution. So the way I see it is, why do we care? As long as you're drinking tea, does it matter how you drink the tea? Yeah, that's still hot. That's it. That's the video. I just thought everyone really, really needed to know about kettles. I thought it was interesting. Do you think it's interesting? I think it's interesting. These are the real issues in the world, man. Never mind Trump, never mind all of that dying and stuff. The real issue in the world is that Americans can't have electric kettles. This is a crisis. We need to get them help, man. And no, it wasn't that I have way too much tea in my sugar.